Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to the opportunity overview for Kaizen team builders. A few housekeeping items. This is just going to be a high-level overview, so please save your questions for either the person who invited you, or if you signed up online, just send in a response, or you can also put it into the chat box, and we will get back in touch with you. We have quite a few people on board again tonight, so we won't be answering any questions. So once again, save your questions, please. Just going to go over the executive team real quickly. Tony Aiello lives outside of Scottsdale, Arizona. He has a degree in engineering with a minor in business admin. His extensive experience in the corporate world lends itself well to helping with organizational processes, optimized training principles, and growing an efficient and profitable agency. Tony will be assisting you in understanding and implementing our training process to ensure a smooth transition for you to become efficient within our business model. Burke Anglin lives south of St. Louis, Missouri. He joined Northwestern Mutual in 1988. In 1994, he took over his first agency in Roseville, California. Since then, he has built multi-million-dollar agencies and regions for some of the top insurance carriers in the United States. In addition, he has personally produced over 7 figures in premium in 1 year. Burke specializes in operation systems and processes, and he will be assisting you with onboarding and getting efficient with our business model. Michael has been an entrepreneur most of his adult life and has employed up to 55 people in the 80s and 90s. Michael's search for an efficient retirement plan led him into the financial services industry. Michael is a licensed fiduciary and owns Tampa Bay Advisories in Tampa Bay, Florida, where he shows people how to protect and grow their wealth with safety and tax efficient strategies. Michael will be assisting you with the sales and presentation training. My name is Rick Dwyer, and I began my career in financial services in 1986. I then worked in mergers and acquisitions before becoming a financial planner in 2011. I am a licensed and accredited fiduciary, and I am president of Argolis Financial Services in Jacksonville, Florida. My expertise is explaining very complex financial strategies in an easy to understand way, and I will be assisting you with our sales and presentation training. Moving on. People in our country are facing a number of financial challenges, and we're going to be addressing a couple of them tonight, and this is where your opportunity comes in. Unexpected loss of income and retirement savings. So I'd like you to take a moment and just think about what your life would be like if in the near future, all of a sudden, you could no longer generate an income. And it's not because you lost your job, and it's not because something happened where you worked. It's because all of a sudden you were unable to generate income because you were critically, chronically ill, or you became seriously injured, either at work or off work. We have a solution for that. We're going to be covering that tonight. Second thing that we said was a financial challenge is how do you actually save for retirement and make sure you're prepared? Well, most people utilize a 401k, an IRA, or some sort of qualified plan. Well, the problem with that is in most cases, they're invested in the stock market, which automatically makes them subject to loss. And they're not saving on taxes, they're deferring taxes to some unknown future tax rate. As a result, you have money going into an account where you actually will never know what that account value will be worth. At the same time, you are subject to a future tax rate that you have no idea what that rate will be. And because of those two unknowns, it is impossible to ever know what your retirement income will be. Yet, that's how the vast majority of Americans save for retirement. We have a better way, and we're going to discuss that tonight as well. So, what is the opportunity? Well, there are currently over 149 million existing life insurance policies in force in the U.S. We're on a crusade to educate on financial alternatives. You get to earn immediate income and along with rapid advancement. So why work with our agency? Well, we replace old policies and move at-risk assets. We have the ability to show people how they can double and even triple their retirement income. We utilize a team approach, which we'll be getting into. And this way you're not operating as if you're on an island all by yourself. And we have positions for all levels of experience. We have a lot of experienced life insurance people on this call. We have people on this call that barely know what life insurance means, and we can take you all the way through from the person just starting out to the very experienced. So why work with us? Well, We're part of Freedom Equity Group, which was founded in 2002. We serve all 50 states. We have over 30,000 agents. We have over 180,000 satisfied customers and over $5.4 billion of face amount life insurance in force. We also follow what we like to consider a franchise model. You know, McDonald's changed the way that fast food was delivered. Starbucks, how you got your coffee, and Uber, how you travel. Freedom Equity Group's on a mission to show people that there's a totally different way to address their financial needs. So are you looking for a career, or are you just looking for a part-time job or full-time job? If you're looking for a career, then you're going to want to make sure that you have proprietary products with unique features. We have those. You want to be able to control your future. You can do that here. You want to get ownership through production. Well, just based on your own personal production, you can actually earn ownership in our agency. You're non-captive, and you do get residuals. And we have a comprehensive lead system. So what is our lead program? Well, first off, we have live transfer voice leads. That means we have call centers calling businesses around the country. When someone's interested, they transfer the call. Our people that are part of our team take those calls and set appointments with them. That's one of the positions, and that's the first one most people start out with. Once you get familiar with our language, we also have preset appointments for those that understand how we do what we do. Finally, we are kicking off an online lead program in about the next 10 to 14 days. So let's just talk about illness for a second, and let's get a little bit of information out to everybody. With most serious illnesses, you can't work. And if you're not working, you're not generating an income. What happens if you have no income? Well, you have to drain your savings and deplete your assets just to survive. And if you have a family, you're draining them even faster. What's left for most people, unfortunately, is bankruptcy. And Harvard Law did a study, and 62% of all bankruptcies in the United States are due to medical incapacitation. And if you're busy trying to survive from day to day and take care of your family, there's definitely not enough money left over to save for retirement. There was a survey recently done of American households, and 35% of them only had one source of income. Of all the households surveyed, if they lost their income, they had less than 3 months of savings left. Critical illness, what are they? So here's a partial list: heart attack, end-stage renal failure, coronary artery bypass, coma, stroke, severe burns, invasive cancers, major organ transplants, paralysis, and blood cancers. I want you to think for a second, if you know anybody, whether it's in your family or related or a friend of a friend that's had any one of these conditions. If they did, I'm pretty sure they suffered a financial setback. 92% of all illness claims are critical illness claims. But you can also have a chronic illness, and a chronic illness is defined as your inability to perform 2 activities of daily living by a physician. And those include bathing, continence, dressing, eating, toileting, and transferring. You could have a chronic illness that doesn't qualify as critical, and vice versa. We address both. Terminal illness. Most Americans know a friend or relative who is suffering or has suffered a terminal illness. That's a condition where a physician is certified that you have less than 24 months to live. The asterisk is because there are some states that are 12 months. So how do we help? Well, we use a very powerful and flexible financial tool, and it's a tool that everyone on this webinar has heard about. It can protect your income, your retirement, build wealth, and do much, much more. And that tool is a properly structured life insurance policy. We're going to utilize an indexed universal life, and I'll be referring to it as an IUL. So the solution for income right now, we're going to be getting into that, is living benefits. And living benefits were first introduced in the United Kingdom in 1995. They've become so popular that today you cannot get a loan in the United Kingdom unless you have a life insurance policy that also includes living benefits. It was later introduced in the United States, Japan, Canada, and Australia. And within 2 short years, the Japanese had converted most of their policies from the old type to the new type. In fact, 1 in 4 households had converted within just the first 2 years. Well, in the US, just due to the size of our market, it was estimated that there'd be $70 billion in premiums spent in the first year in 1998. I'm going to put that number up and how much was actually spent, but I want you to think about it for a second. How much money do you think the US spent on this new type of life insurance with living benefits in 1998? All right, here we go. Nothing. I wonder how that compared to the number that you were just thinking about. And here we are 20 years later, and of the 149 million life insurance policies in force in the US today, 98% are all the old kind, meaning that you must die to collect a penny. Living benefits provide up to 90% of the face amount of the policy in advance, tax-free, while you're alive and can still use it. What would you want for you and your family? If you're currently paying for life insurance, there's a 98+% chance that you're paying for a benefit that you're actually not getting. And that's where the opportunity is, because think of how many other people are doing the exact same thing. And we're on a mission to change that. So what's the benefits of getting your money up front? Well, you get to focus on healing. You get to remove the financial stress of how do I take care of my family? Now, I understand no one wants this money because that means something bad has happened. But if it does happen, we can structure it so that your income lasts the rest of your life. And if you're married, we can actually redirect it so that it would last the rest of your spouse's life as well. And because of the way we structure it, if you get fully recovered from whatever illness that you just encountered, you decide whether you want to go back to work or not. So we're going to take a look real quick at how an IUL can serve you to better outperform your 401k. We just addressed some of the ways that an IUL can go ahead and take care of you on loss of income due to critical or chronic illness and terminal illness. Now we're going to take up the second challenge, and that is how can we perform against a 401k or some other qualified plan. So let's go take a look at that. So first off, I'm just going to show you how I got to that rate of return, 4.17. So I'm not sure if you can see this on my screen, but in the lower left corner, you'll see 4.17 is the compound annual growth rate for the S&P 500 over the last 19 years. So we're going to go ahead and use that number. I just wanted to see where I got it from. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with someone. We're going to take someone who's about middle age. So we'll take 45-year-old. For whatever reason, they hadn't saved up any money for retirement, and they're going to plan on retiring at age 67. We're going to say that they're saving $700 a month, and it doesn't really matter how much money we put in here because it's going to still, this is just for hypothetical demonstration purposes. We're going to come back to the match in a second, but we're going to assume that they have no money saved up currently. So we're also going to assume that their fees, if you Google 401k fees, you'll see that they're between 2 and 4%, but we're just going to go with 1.75. They will have amassed just under $250,000. So now what we want to see is how long would that money last if they were to pull it out over a 20-year period. So let me go over here and see if I can make some adjustments here for the screen so it's easier for you to see. And what we want to do is at the lower right-hand corner, we want to see how much money we can pull out every single year before that number goes to zero. And I'm going to assume they're in Illinois and their tax bracket is 33% while they're working. And then we're going to drop it down to 30 in retirement. And now we'll go ahead and pick a number. I'm going to try 4.5. And there it is at 4.5. Well, they virtually ran out of money in 19 years, but we'll just say they ran out of money in their 20th year at age 87. So they were able to pull out $10,977 per year, each and every year for 20 years, and then they ran out of money. So we're going to see if we can do a little bit better. So we know that we're going to put in the same 184, but I'm going to go over here and show you how we do this. So for you on the call that are licensed, you may not have ever seen how an IUL can outperform a 401k, but you're about to see that right now. So let me get in here. I'm going to log in. And we'll get this going. And all I'm trying to show you today is an apples to apples comparison on how we would compare if someone was putting the exact same amount of money into a 401k that they were putting into an IUL. And let's just see how things work out. And then we're going to have a little bit of fun. We're going to play with it just a little bit, change some of the numbers around so you can see that we're not trying to lowball anything, and I think you're going to be pretty impressed. So let's go over here. I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. I'm actually going to do this for a male because they have a lower or a higher rate of insurance than a female, so 45. And we're going to say they're in preferred condition. We'll use Illinois. I'm going to just solve for face amount here. And we're going to put them at 8,400 for 22 years. Let's do this for 22 years. And we're going to go with, I think I said, oh, 700. Yep, 8,400 a year. So let's put that in here. And just like with their 401k, they're going to stop making any contributions after they retire. So we're going to stop that. We're going to make this good to 120. And we're not going to take any money out while they're working. So we're going to do this for 22 years. We'll put 0. And then we're going to see how much money we can take out. So we're going to solve for the max. I'm going to come over here, just change this to level, and we're going to let this calculate. And we'll get an answer to that in 1 second. So while we're doing that, we're going to take a look at what we have. So we have 184,000 that grew to 243. We were able to take out a total of 10,977. So just a little over 200 and probably $30,000. Let's take a look at what we could have done in our IUL. And the first thing I want to do is just compare what we did for the amount of money that went in the policy. So as you can see, we have $184,000. I'm going to put 184 in here. So that exactly matches what would have been put into the IUL. But look at the income. Here's the income number right there, 34,278. I'm going to put 34,200. And if you tried to take out that same amount of money out of your 401k that you could have taken out of your IUL, you would have run out of money in 5 years. Now, we've taken a couple other things off the table. Because of the way our indexing works, which you'll learn in training, we totally take stock market risk off the table. This is not subject to market risk at all. And because of the way we structure for our clients, they're taking this money out tax-free, so their future tax rates are not much of a concern at all under current tax law. So what we're going to do now is let's go up here and just say, well, what happens if they got a match at work? So let's do that. Let's say they got a 50% match at work. I talk to a lot of clients, and not everybody gets a match at all, but we'll say 50, they would gain a few more years. So now let's go up and change it to 100%. And at 100%, they would still only last to age 78. So this is pretty amazing. If you look down here, they had $487,000 working compared to 184, but yet they still ran out of money by the end of the 11th year. So now let's try and increase the rate of return. We'll go to 6%. And at 7%, it looks like they're gonna do better. Hold on 1 second. I hit the wrong key. Sorry about that, folks. Let me go back up here and hit this to 7%. But no one's going to be in the market having all their money subject to market risk the whole time. So this is probably going to be more like a 5 number. So we'll make that a 5. And they're still going to run out of money. So if they had unsustained losses for the next, let's see, 42 years, and taxes never went up for the next 42 years, they'd still run out of money by the time they reach their 18th year. And just to show you on the IUL, this income is estimated to last until they reach age 121, as you can see right here. So I'm going to finish up with our presentation right at the moment. Let's talk about some of the benefits of an IUL. First of all, there's tax-deferred growth, tax-free access, there's creditor protection, you get access to your funds, penalty-free, by the way, no contribution limits, all fees are fully disclosed in the policy. In fact, every time we're talking with clients, we fully disclose our fees, and we record every single case that we do with a client. We eliminate totally market risk. There are no required minimum distributions. And once again, it is life insurance. That's why the living benefits are tax-free. And if the person should pass away, of course, their heirs get the money tax-free as well. It is totally portable, unlike a 401k. No matter where you go or jobs you might have, your plan goes with you. And of course, it does include the living benefits. Now, we have a quick start program to get people who join up with us, get started right away. First of all, I'm going to talk about people who may be on this call that don't have a license. Well, first step is to join FEG. Then we have our training package. And for just $40, it's actually $39.95. You get an on-demand video training to get you prepared to get your state license. We do provide one-on-one training while you're getting your license. And we also conduct personal practice sessions. Once you get your license and if you've completed our 30-day process, you are eligible for a $900 education credit, which should pay for all your licensing and all the fingerprinting, everything that you had to do to get your license. Well, the first thing to go over and for you to ask yourself, Is this opportunity for you? Can you do this? So what I'd like you to do now is, if you could, by the way, we're not going to hound you. I just want to get an idea of people who think that they can do this. Just go in the chat box and just say yes if that's something that you think you can do. And what I'm going to do is, if you don't think this is for you, I'd like you to leave now, because I'm going to start going into some further detail. And if not for you, no reason to stick around. So I'm going to give everybody just a couple minutes, and well, not even a couple seconds is more like it. I'll give everybody about 10 more seconds, and we'll get going with the rest of the presentation. So if you think you can do this, go ahead and type yes in the chat box. If you think it's not for you, go ahead and leave now, because we're going to get into some more minutia as we go forward. All right, I think that's enough time for people who made a decision up. So let's get going. So the income opportunity, well, you can do this part-time or full-time. We provide you with training, the fast start bonus, independence, ownership opportunities, leads, trips, advancement, and freedom. I'm going to go over to our income calculator, and I'm going to keep this pretty basic, because like with anything else, we can get very detailed, but I don't think that's going to make any sense for everybody here tonight. So I'm just going to keep it pretty basic. So let's go get everybody that starts depending upon their level of experience, somewhere down here, but our goal is to get everybody to the RVP level. So I just want to show you what it's like starting at the RVP level. Our average premium per month company-wide is $500. You may be thinking, well, that's a lot of money every month for somebody to be putting in. But once they understand how they can outperform their 401k, then you'll see that that 500 is very realistic. In fact, for a lot of us, our annual premiums are substantially higher than 6,000. But let's just say you're working with one of your team members, and everybody, like I said, has the opportunity to be part of a team with us. So we're going to cut that number in half. We're going to just say 250. And let's say all you were able to do through our lead generation and your lead generation is 4 cases a month. Well, that would give you an income of 100,000 a year. Not a bad income for most people, way above the national average on an individual basis, but we're just getting started. So for those of you out there that are looking to build a career and not just the job, well, one of the things that you can do is build an agency. And as an agency builder, you're recruiting and you're helping to bring people in that want an opportunity like yourself. And maybe they want to make 100,000 a year. So over the course of, let's say, 6 months, you only recruit one person a month. And at the end of 6 months, you have 6 people. Each of them, for whatever reason, maybe they're just doing it part-time, they can only do 1 case a month. Well, if they do 1 case a month at that same level, then you'd be up to 151. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down for all you pessimistic people out there who don't believe the numbers yet and say that you're only able to do 250 a month of premium, and after the split, it's 125. So now you're at 75,600, but watch what happens. If you help each of your 6 people also close their 6 cases, you would be up to 10 cases a month, and your income is back up to 151. So all you're doing is you're over time recruiting 6 people, you're helping them close their cases on a monthly basis. In addition to that, you're doing 1 case a week for yourself. And with that, you're looking at income of over 150,000 a month. It gets even better after that. I'm only going to show you 2 more levels, but I want you to see the opportunity that is available if you do this. So as people advance and they promote themselves through their production to the RVP level, we're going to say that each one of your teams break out, and we're only going to say that 3 of the people that came on board actually break out, and they're doing these 10 cases a month. So the 4 that the RVP does themselves, plus 6 more that they're helping get close. So we're going to do 10 cases. We're going to keep the same premium level that's up here at the 125. But now all of a sudden, that extra income just bumped you up to the NVP, the National Vice President level. And then all of a sudden, now your income's up to 244. I'm just going to go 1 more level because we can get really crazy with the calculator. And we're going to say over time, these 3 people bring on 3 more. That brings you up another couple levels. So we're going to go to the SNVP level. And now you're looking at 463. And I'm going to stop there. We have a lot more to go over in training. So I'm going to leave it there. If you have any questions on how this could work or how this could work for you, feel free to ask the person that brought you in here. I want to make one thing absolutely clear, and that is there is no requirement to do any recruiting at all. If anybody's here and they just want to be able to produce for themselves, we are absolutely 100% okay with that, and we will help you to be successful. So recruiting is optional for people that want to build an agency. It is not a requirement. So I'm going to get back to our presentation. So here's another bonus. If you act within the next 24 hours, for those of you that want to receive live phone call transfers, there's no lead cost on that, but there is a seat fee. We have people in phone rooms calling businesses across the country. That's $300 per month, and it's not based on how many leads you get. If you get 10 a day or you get 15 or more a day, it's still $300 a month. We'll pay for your seat fee for the first 30 days. There's also a $125 one-time setup fee. It is refundable as soon as you finish your 30 days of training. And we also will get you, well, I shouldn't say we'll get you, that 125 gives you all the tools that you need to succeed, including a replicated website and a digital kit. However, Team Kaizen, we're the only ones I know of that are refunding the 125. So if you have any questions at all and you want to get started or find out what you need to get started, once again, reach out to the person that brought you to this webinar, or go ahead and put in contact me or something that lets us know you're interested in the chat box, and someone will get in touch with you within the next 24 hours. We have a lot of people on the call, so give us a little time to get back to you. I want to thank you for your time, and I hope everybody on this call has a great evening. I look forward to working with you in the future. Have a great night.